Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today we are working with equilibrium, balance. Yee talks about balance as being something that you fall out of and you retrieve yourself. So it's that ability to fall and return. We'll start with a little reading from the Tao Te Ching and some breathing. So finding a place where you can feel settled, even as we're told that we're balancing at every moment. So I'm balancing here on my knees and calves and hips. Maybe you're balancing on your hips and feet. Just feeling that center of balance, allowing the breath to soften within you, letting breath and awareness fall down the front of the body, fall down the back of the body, fall through the left side, fall through the right side, the crown of the head falling down through the spine, down to the sacrum, into the earth. Act on the world, try to control it. You'll see it simply cannot be done. The world is a spirit vessel. It can't be forced or treated as an object. Things sometimes move forward or follow behind. Life blows hot and blows cold. Strong and weak, firm and soft. Getting on, getting off, rising up, falling down. The return to the root is peace. Abide still at the center. Countless things co-arising. See them turn and return to their roots, at their roots still, the way of nature. In this moving stillness, recover, revive, and endure. Let the body come forward and back just slightly. And then moving side to side slightly. And making the smallest of circles, not to disturb the balance, but to be aware of circling round that center. Bringing some more obvious movement as you fall round the center and come back and find the center. Balance is a dance between front and back, left and right, between mind and body. Rodney Yee says that balance, centering, is a playful dialogue. Let's increase that rotation as the rib cage circles round the pelvic bowl. No straining. Back, side, front, side. Just an easy flow through the spine, the hips, the rib cage, and back around the opposite direction. Starting to feel sensations coming back through center, taking a moment to allow that breath, movement, and awareness permeate into the torso, softening through the pelvic bowl. Then bring the hands in front of you, slide forward, hands sliding forward on the floor, stretching back through the spine, back through the sacrum, pausing a moment. And then coming back, hands on the floor. And open the arms back in a kind of A frame, letting the heart flower open to the sun, leaning back a bit, and then coming forward. Let it be slow, falling forward, coming back, and falling back just a bit. One more time. And then finding your center once again. We'll open up the side line. Let one arm come up, become long on that side, arcing out under the arm, heavying the head. Just noticing where you feel this falling over. Then retrieving the center. Other arm comes up, become long, arc out under the arm and over. Falling to the other side. And one more time to each side. Falling mindfully. Allowing awareness and breath to come to new parts of the body by bringing a new shape, a new form of falling. And both hands come down. Bring one hand to the opposite thigh. Other hand comes behind, just turning easily in one direction, eyes just towards the side. Arms come wide, come around to the other side, beginning to open that spiral line, especially through the thoracic, torso, spine, and up through the cervical spine, only to about 70% of what you could do. Then coming back through center, extend the right leg out, left foot comes up by the thigh, perhaps it comes over, hand or forearm wraps around that knee, and the other hand comes back behind as a kickstand. Reach out through the extended heel, come forward on the sits bones, long through the spine, inhale up, and exhale round through lower ribs. Gradually, as you inhale and exhale, bringing shoulders round, and chin, keeping to that 70% rule, maintaining length. Release and unwind. Left leg extends out, right foot comes up and over. Forward on sits bones, long through the spine, inhale up and exhale, gradually round. Release and unwind. Bring the feet wide, coming into windshield wiper, opening through the hip joints, floating across the bottom of the feet. Feeling this in ankle joints and a bit through knees, hips, into the sacrum. Let the arms and shoulders join in as the hand extends back. Feel the falling diagonally towards the corner of the room. The whole body yearning. And next time you come around, give into that falling. Everything comes down. Forehead onto the back of the hands, or any adaptation. Softening down towards the earth. Letting the awareness and breath soften back, belly, the bottom of the feet. Pushing up, coming round, turning the knees and falling down on the other side. Bringing yourself back up, retrieving your center. And we're going to lie down now. So coming to a lying position. And as you come down, wiggle around, find your ease for all the back of the head, the hips, the arms, the shoulders, the calves. Feel the natural curves of the spine. And as you breathe, feel the breadth of the body, the whole length of the body, the symmetry of the body, all sinking with ease. You might feel the support of the back of the body, and then let the front of the body fall into the back body, like a head resting back into a pillow. The front of the body supported by the back of the body supported by the earth. Letting any tension unravel. Just letting yourself be the falling. Let your body be like a riverbed with the breath flowing through it. Two more breaths here. And bend the knees and give the knees a hug up towards the chest. Let the neck be a little long, reaching the crown up. Bring knees out towards the armpits and come into happy baby. Any version of that you would like. And playing with that, perhaps opening up the backs of the legs, down into the sacrum. Maybe rolling back and forth across the sacrum. Feeling that falling through the pelvic bowl, through the sacrum, connecting down into the earth. Then coming back through center, bring the legs wide. Enjoy that stretch for a moment, maybe rubbing the hands up and down the backs of the legs, or wherever you need some space and healing. Then turning the ankles, feeling that space within the ankle joints, and round the opposite direction. Then cross the legs, pause for a moment, widen the legs, and cross them with the other leg on top. Uncross, bring the legs down. Bring arms up overhead. Left ankle comes out to the outer edge of the mat. Right ankle crosses over it. Hands and fingers go over towards the left, becoming a banana. A little more opening through the lateral line, these warm-ups, so that we can fall and retrieve ourselves in various positions. And coming back through center, It's taking a little stretch as fingers reach up and heels reach down. Then right foot comes over to the edge of the mat, left ankle comes over the ankle, hands, arms over to the right. What's the sensation here? Let the awareness and breath trace those sensations, trace that line along the left side of the body. And then come back through center. Arms come out horizontally from the shoulders, knees come bent above the hips. And let the knees come over to 45 degrees or so. Come back up and over to the other side. Where do you want your attention to be? Perhaps on the muscles that are allowing this to occur. Perhaps on the sacrum that you're rolling over. Maybe on the jaw, letting it be soft. The back of the neck. The shoulder blades, allowing them to sink down. One more time to each side. Then bringing knees back through center, let the feet fall down onto the earth. Knees are bent. We're coming into bridge pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades together a bit, pressing down through the feet, raising the hips and the hands, coming into moving bridge, bringing that balance between feet and shoulder. Hands come up high, and just feel where the balance is in your body, how your body reorients itself to this new balancing. And then arms slowly return. And the whole back of the body comes down. A much more supported centering. 2 more times. Inhale up. Strong through the back body, supporting the front body. Relaxation through the organs as they fall into the back body. Hands come down and everything falls down towards the earth. One more time. Lifting up against gravity, letting the arms fall into gravity, long from knees through shoulders, and returning, retrieving that falling into earth of lying down. We'll come over onto our sides. So coming onto your side, let your underarm be long, and you're balancing on the underside of your body. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked, feet are stacked. If you need to have a little V in your knees, that's fine. And we're going to play with the balance here as right as the top arm comes out, and then over, maybe gaze goes up a bit. Feeling that falling forward a bit and falling back slightly. Just playing with that dialogue of the whole underside as it balances on the earth. Now bringing the hand back, bring it up. So the top arm is up over the head, not touching the floor. See if you can raise the legs while keeping that balance on the hips. And you might raise the head and that upper arm a bit. And you might play with that and come back down. Maybe you try the head and the arm, maybe you try just the legs, just playing with this falling and returning. Then let's bring this to the other side. You can just turn and come over onto your other side, extending your arm up, stacking the hips, the knees, the feet, the shoulders, bringing the arm up and back, falling back slightly. As the arm comes forward, falling forward slightly. We have the illusion that we can hold a pose, be rigid in a pose. But Rodney Yee is telling us that, in fact, we are never able to do this. We are always in a stillness that is moving, that is dancing with gravity, with fields of energy we don't even know about within us and outside of us. Then bringing that hand down in the front, bring it up over your head, balancing on the hips. Maybe you stretch down through your toes and lift the legs slightly. Maybe you lift your top arm and head. Just playing with this again. All sorts of balancing. And then bringing your hand down, pushing up through your hands. We're going to come up into a standing position. Come into a mountain pose. Nose over belly button, shoulders over hips, hips over heels. And let yourself sway forward on the balls of your feet and then back to your heels. Just a gentle swaying. Then coming over to the left a little bit, the right, side to side, just gently on your feet. Maybe coming to the outside of your feet and then the inside of your feet on both sides. Maybe being aware of some of the habits, what feels most comfortable here. Aware and maybe able, as we circle round a little bit, just slight circling around the bottom of the feet, hips circling a bit. Aware of those habits and how we can fall out of those habits by falling and retrieving in a different way. Keep that sense of falling and retrieving. Lifting up, opening the heart, and just letting the breath sway you like wind in the trees, coming through center. Feeling the natural breath of the body, the wind within. Falling is always happening. It's not possible to hold a yoga pose. Keep the left foot planted. Bring the left toes out to 45 degrees. So I'm just turning the foot. I'm not stepping forward. Bring the right arm out to the side, fingertips reaching out. Left hand lifts, comes in front of the heart about 9 to 12 inches. And the fingertips reach toward the other fingertips. So let the fingertips lead in this standing pose. Relaxing down through the back of the body. Loosen the neck. Softening in the belly and the bottom of the feet. Bring the weight into the left foot, into the foot that is not turned out. Just hold this for 10 seconds or so. Feeling any little movements that are happening. Let hands come down. Bring the right foot back directly under the hips, toes forward. Left foot turns out 45 degrees. Left arm reaches out. Feel the glowing fingertips. The right hand comes up, kind of out in front and a little forward of the heart. pointing towards those other fingertips, relaxing through fingers and joints and shoulders. Relaxing down through hips and knees and ankles. Weight in the back foot, in the right foot. Taking about 10 seconds to just feel the movement in the stillness. Letting those arms come down, arms to the sides, let them float up. Then straighten out the fingers, palms down. Keep those fingers going out as the arms come down to around 45 degrees. Fingers and palms are alert, alive. Feel the space between the vertebrae. Feel these micro movements, the dialogue within the body, the dialogue of stillness. Then hands float down, and let the hands float up in front of you, holding an orb of energy. Again, fingertips alive, middle finger and ring finger pointing towards each other, a little curving in of forefinger and thumb, the little finger pointing a bit down. Letting that alertness, that aliveness in the hands come round the arms and into the chest. Letting that positive light energy coming down through the heart and the solar plexus, the belly, down through the legs and into the earth. Perhaps feeling the flow of the liquid body within you. And letting the arms float down. We're going to come into a forward fold, and we're going to be there for a little while. So suggestion to have a block or a book that you can come down to, and or you could have a chair, and you could be holding on to the back of a chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, falling, falling. Letting the top of the body fall down towards the ground, grounding through the feet, grounding through the legs. Feel the balance reorienting itself. Let the spine become long, little openings between the vertebrae, head hanging down. Feel yourself upside down, coming inward. Usually the back of our body supports the front, and now the front of our body is supporting the back. Just letting yourself fall from the hips down and falling down through the legs, soft into the feet, support from the earth. Letting awareness permeate even parts of the body that often are forsaken, forgotten. Then bending the knees, arms come wide, heart and gaze forward as you come up from your forward fold. Move the block or chair out of the way. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold once more. Fingertips or hands come onto the mat and feet come back, and we're coming into plank. And you might have knees down, or you might have heels pushing back with knees parallel to the earth. Feel the weight of the body coming down into the hands and the feet. The falling of the body. good support through the belly button area. Then coming up into downward dog. Let the knees be soft, stretching back through the spine. Weight in the little finger side of the wrist and at the bottom of the forefinger. Taking some weight off of that wrist by bringing the sits bones back. Then bringing your attention to the weight of the body, falling into the hands, falling into the feet. Bring your weight to your left hand and your right foot and stretch between the left hand and right foot, feeling the weight going over in that direction. And then switch weight into right hand and left foot, stretching between them. Feeling that diagonal sharing of weight. Then coming back to middle, feeling the weight of the pelvis, coming down into the feet, the muscles of the arms and legs. Feel them centering around the bones in the arms and the legs. And harnessing the energy of the arms and the legs, bringing that up into the center of the spine. Arms and legs energy coming up into the center of the spine. Kind of a new sense of balance with that. At the same time, feel the weight falling into each finger, into each hand, into the toes and the feet. As Rodney Yee says, this is a pinnacle of a pyramid rising from the solid foundation of 4 sides. And if you want to play with this a little bit more, you might want to come down. If you're tired, that's fine too. You might bring one leg up and be a 3-legged stool for a moment, or you might bring that foot back behind and over to the side. Just playing with the balance and noticing how the body adapts as it falls into a new balance. Try the other side. And then coming down into a child's pose. Give some rest to the body. Finding any form of child's pose that you might like. For me, rabbit feels good right now. Arms coming along the side, but your arms could be forward or hands under the forehead. Then we'll rise up, and I am going to put a blanket in between my calves and backs of my thighs for a little bit of softness there. You might be on the front of your feet. You could also tuck your feet. That might be a way that works for you. If neither work for you, sit with crossed legs or legs out in front of you. That also will work. Whatever position you have taken, feel the legs, the shins, the hamstrings, the thigh bones falling into the earth. If your feet are tucked under you, your hamstrings are falling into the feet and the lower legs, and all of that spilling into the earth. Bring the pelvis forward just slightly, lifting up and feeling the curves of the spine. Rodney Yee suggests that we imagine our pelvic bowl and our legs like root balls of an unplanted tree, very dense. Just experiencing this falling, this weightedness toward the earth and toward your own center of gravity. falling and relaxing into the pose. If your legs are tucked, feel how this falling actually can sustain the circulation in the legs as you press into this density of the body. Feeling the equanimity of surrender into the earth. Then raising the hips up. Let's come forward into a puppy pose. Removing any props. Stretching back. Then bringing hands back a bit on the edges of the mat. Weight onto one knee, lifting up that leg in the back, bringing it under the belly. 3 times. Underbelly and back up. Switching to the weight, falling into the other knee, bringing that leg up and letting it fall down, in and under, falling the chin towards the knee. And then coming back, tucking your toes, pressing into your hands, and we'll come up once again into a standing position. And we'll do some balances. So feel free to have a chair near you if you would like. But we're really inviting ourselves in these balances to feel free to fall, to play with that dance of falling and retrieving. So a little bit of urge from Rodney Yee to overcome that fear of falling in our balances by allowing it to happen. Let's start by just walking. Bring the weight into one foot, let the arms dangle, and then into the other. Just feeling that falling as you walk and the retrieving of balance on each side. Just coming round in a small circle in your space. And as you come around another little circle, kind of a drunken walk where you fall backwards a bit. Getting a sense of just how far back you can fall and not really fall and collapse. And then one more circle round, lifting up into a normal walk. Simply becoming aware of the balancing, the rebalancing that's constant as we walk through the world. Now coming back to your place on the mat, crossing the arms and bringing one foot down and then the other, stomping, feeling that solidity even as we move out of balance and back into it. 2 more times. Come down into a mild forward fold, mild back bend, then up on toes and bounce down onto your heels. Fall forward, fall back, lift up and fall into your heels. One more time. Now let's come up on our tiptoes and down. So lifting the heels and letting them come down. Feeling that sense of precarious balance. Now let's be the monkey, scooping up earth chi, stealing earth chi. We steal it, bringing it up with our hands up to our collarbone region, coming up on toes, bringing the arms out, looking from side to side to see if anyone saw us, feeling the precarity of that balance, and coming back down. 2 more times, scooping up earth chi, trying to steal it, looking around, and coming down. And if you fall, that's part of the invitation today. Coming up, out, and as you look around, maybe falling a little bit and coming down. Bring the feet wide. We're going to do our star balance. So arms are up a little bit diagonally, feet are out, and we come onto one foot, balance there just a bit, and coming back to the other. Fall if you want to. Try falling forward. Or try just dialoguing in that balance. Then coming back through center. Feet are directly under the hips now. Two options. One is to bring, in any case, bring your weight into your left foot. Let your left side of your body be your foundation side. And either bring your toe in front, tapping it up and down, or bending the knee up and down. And give some challenge to this. Bending forward a bit, perhaps bending back a bit, maybe bending side to side. Letting it be a very literal falling and retrieving of balance. Then changing foundation foot and coming into your right foot, right side of the body, long and balanced, to the extent wherever balanced, and then finding your equilibrium as you tap your toe or bring the knee up and down. And as you challenge this sense of falling, being comfortable, a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of falling. And coming down. Now bring your weight back into your left foot. Let the left part of the body be your foundation. Bring your wings up and your knee up. Then coming into that kelp balance that we do sometimes, where knee comes in one direction and fingers go in the opposite direction. Let the waves knock you a little bit side to side. Try them both going in the same direction. How does that feel? Where's the balance now? Then bring that foot down. Let the right foot become your foundation leg. Fly for a moment. Feel that wiggling, that wobbling through the foot. It's a good thing. It's the way life is. And then coming into that kelp flow through the water. Doing it in the opposite direction, seeing how that feels for you. Letting yourself fall. And then try doing knee and fingers in the same direction. That takes a little bit more wobbling through the foot and the leg, and perhaps some falling. Falling and retrieving the self. And coming back into both legs, bring the weight into the left foot. Let the arms come wide and the leg comes back as you toggle forward just a bit. Then bring the knee up, bent, and palms come together in front of the chin. Arms wide, leg back, and coming together. Free to fall safely. And then finding the other foot, weight in the right foot. Leg comes back, torso toggles forward, arms come wide, palms come together, and knee forward. In essence, we are falling forward and falling back here just a bit. Invitation to let our fears, to a certain extent, wisely go. One more time. And bring it down. Now we're going to come in to what I call the Shiva dance. Weight into the left foot. Let the ankle come up onto just above the right knee, and above the left knee, right ankle, left knee, and the left knee is bent a little bit. One hand cups upwards and the other one is flat down, and then they change positions as the other one cups up above and flattens out down below. A little asymmetry here that brings a little bit more challenge. How does the body feel? What is the wobbling? What is the falling in this slightly asymmetrical posture? And coming back and taking the weight into the right foot, left ankle on right knee, little bend in the right knee. And bringing the beautiful Shiva dance of the arms, relaxing through the back of the body. Feeling the weight falling down through the body. Feeling the micro movements of feet, hips, up into the spine, perhaps falling and retrieving, and coming back through center. Now we're going to come into a triangle. And you might want to block here or the chair if you'd like it. So I could have a chair that I'm bringing, that I'm coming down on for some support, or I might have a block that comes behind the foot to the back side, to the outer side of the sole of the front foot, coming into triangle legs, bringing the hands to the hip creases. Triangle is architecturally a very stable pose. But we're going to become a little bit more conscious of what we do in it here, bringing the hands to the chest, reaching fingers out, reaching towards the horizon, windmilling. And you might bring your hand onto your lower leg, or you might bring the fingertips onto a block or onto a chair. And bring the head behind the heart a bit. So here we're working with opening up a little bit more and taking that chance of almost feeling like you're falling backwards. Let your heart be in the same plane as your pelvis. Search for a new center here, letting shoulder blades relax down. Feel the balance between the feet. Feel the connection between the center of each leg and the center of the spine. Feeling the connection between the center of each leg and the center of the spine. Searching for that center of the legs aligned with the torso. Heart is open here, perhaps feeling a little vulnerable. Maybe feeling a bit like you're falling into the unseen back behind, but feeling that dialogue of the center and the falling. And then bring some bend to that front knee. Pretend that there's a rope up above your top hand. Take hold of it, strong through the belly, and come up. Now bringing your props, whatever you would like, over to the other side of the mat. Coming into triangle on the other side. Once again, hands to hip creases, hips coming towards the back foot and then the front, ending up in the back, hands opening the chest, eyes out to the horizon, fingertips stretching, and the windmill. One arm reaching up, other fingers reaching down, pressing against the leg or fingertips on the block. And once again, not contracting towards the front, but rather opening, the head coming into the same plane as the heart. So almost like the head comes behind the heart in the feeling of it, as you feel that kind of falling backwards, just a very slight feeling of that. The heart is in plane with the pelvis, searching for that new center here, balancing between the feet, feeling the full foot in each side coming to the earth, feeling that connection between the center of the legs and the center of the spine, aligning the legs with the spine. Very strong architecture here, but feeling that dialogue with the center. Then taking hold of that rope with the top hand, strong through the belly, and coming up. Let's stay on this side for a moment. We're going to come into half moon. And you can do that with the seat of a chair or the side of a couch, or you can do it with a block. So on this, if your left foot is the forward foot, the left toes are forward towards the chair or the block. If you have to bring them a little over diagonally, that's fine, but with that sense of direction. And this is a good challenge for our balance. So bringing the hand onto the block or the chair, maybe that toe in the back stays down, or maybe it lifts up, arm lifts up. Let the top leg be strong, perhaps reaching out through the heel. And let your buttocks line up with the heel of that raised leg. Now let's collapse forward. Let's come forward and come back up. So we know that can happen. But we know we can catch ourselves. Opening up now. Opening up through the heart. Pelvis in line with the heel. Some fear perhaps of falling back into the unseen, losing control. Can you be with that fear? Be in the center of your falling, front or back. Can you find some ease there? And bringing it down. And then we'll do that on the other side, the half moon. Finding your props where you want them. Bringing the toes either straight towards your props or just a little bit diagonally. Feeling the weight of the body coming down into the hand and the foot. That top leg very strong as it reaches out through the heel. Fingers reaching up. Let the buttocks be aligned with the heel of the raised leg, opening up through the pelvic bowl, feeling perhaps a little fear like the body might fall back. And if you want to let yourself fall forward, get used to that. And coming back in, retrieving the pose, feeling any shaking, wiggling, micro movements that are part of this as you open the heart Open the knee of the top leg towards the front. And giving up some of that fear of losing control, of falling. And coming down. Good effort, everybody. Let's come down into a lying position. Oh, that feels good. Complete security. Ability to just fall without retrieving yourself. Falling into the earth. Feeling your body as part of the earth. Feeling the weight of the skull, the heart and the shoulder blades, the arms, the hips, the legs, the feet. Allowing yourself to fall and fall. Invitation from the earth. Enjoying some breaths here. Abide still at the center. Countless things co-arising. See them turn and return. Return to their roots, at their roots still, the way of nature. In stillness, recover, revive, and endure. Namaste.